Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Dandavad pranams. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So, welcome to our Bhakti Sastri discussion.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna, Dandavad pranams. Okay. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutabada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Shahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakan Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kantha Radha Kanta Namoste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So in the previous class we have discussed toward the end of the chapter 5 of the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna explains about the peace formula. Yeah, the very famous verse, the Bhaktaram Yagya Tapasam. And Krishna slightly touched the Astanga Yoga process. Yeah. And then in the beginning of chapter 6, we have discussed how Krishna giving the introduction to the Astanga Yoga process, in which actually, in order to perform this yoga practice, the first and foremost duty of the practitioner is to control the mind. Yeah. So we have seen how Krishna explained when his mind is best friend and when the mind is enemy. Yeah. Bandhur atmat manastasya yenat maivat manajitaha anat manastu satruve vartetat maiva satruvat. Yeah. So controlling the mind is the foremost requirement to practice the Astanga Yoga process. And Srila Prabhupada again and again explained in his purport that actually a person in Krishna consciousness is automatically surpassing even the the goal of the Astanga Yoga process, in which actually samadhi is the goal. Yeah. So when one is properly engaged in the service of the Lord, that means he is already in samadhi, being absorbed in Krishna. That is samadhi. Okay. So now we will continue from text 10 of chapter 6. Yeah. Stages in yoga practice and samadhi. Yeah, from text 10 to 27. Having described the stages of Astanga Yoga, Krishna next explains the practice of those stages. By practicing yoga with determination, controlling the mind and fixing the mind on Supersoul, one attains the stage of perfection called samadhi, wherein one enjoys unlimited transcendental pleasure. Text number 10. A transcendentalist should always engage his body, mind, and self in relationship with the Supreme. He should live alone in a secluded place and should always carefully control his mind. He should be free from desires and feelings of possessiveness. So here Lord Krishna mentioned alone. Yeah, he should live alone. Ekaki. Yeah, in this verse, ekaki means to stay alone. Srila Prabhupada commented, the first business of a transcendentalist is to keep the mind always on Krishna. One should always think of Krishna and not forget him even for a moment. Concentration of the mind of the Supreme is called samadhi or trance. In order to concentrate the mind, one should always remain in seclusion and avoid disturbance by external objects. He should be very careful to accept favorable and reject the unfavorable conditions that affect his realization. And in perfect determination, he should not hanker after unnecessary material things that entangle him by feelings of possessiveness. Yeah. So, by seeing this description, actually we can assess ourselves whether we are eligible for this kind of yoga practice or not. Yeah. First of all, we have to be alone. How many of us can being alone, really can be alone? How many of us? And for a long time. Mm.
Group.
Yeah. What is it? Kriteya Dhyayatho Vishnum. In Krita Yuga or in Satya Yuga. This is the process. Dhyayatho Vishnum. The title of this chapter is Dhyana. Dhyana means thinking. Yeah. So Kriteya Dhyayato Vishnu. To perform austerity, meditation on Lord Vishnu. And for how long? For 1000 years. Yes. So we are sitting for 2 hours. We already feel restless. Yeah. So that is our conditioning. First of all, we cannot sit peacefully for a moment, and then we have to be alone. We have to control the mind, you know. So it's a uh, hard requirement. Therefore, we will see in this part of chapter later on, we will see how Arjuna rejected this process. Yeah. And Srila Prabhupada commented, we have to always think about Krishna and never forget Krishna. Yeah. Yeah. Smartavya sa tatam Vishnur. Vismartavyo na jatuchit. Always thinking about Krishna and never forget about Krishna. So it's kind of same thing, If you always think about Krishna, then automatically you will not forget about him. Yeah, sarve vidhi nisedasyur etayor eva kinkaraha. So all the vidhi, all the rules and regulation, they are the servants of these two rules. And then what does it mean? So that whatever we do, it should help us to think about Krishna. When we cook in the temple, when we distribute books, when we go out for Sankirtan, when we perform deity worship, so on and so forth. So all these services meant to help us to think about Krishna. Yeah. Text 11 and 12. To practice yoga, one should go to a secluded place. Suchao Dese, Krishna mentioned here. And should lay kusa grass. Sorry. To practice yoga, one should go to a secluded place and should lay kusa grass on the ground and then cover it with a deer skin and a soft cloth. The seat should be neither too high nor too low and should be situated in a sacred place. The yogi should then sit on it very firmly and practice yoga to purify the heart by controlling his mind, senses, and activities by fixing the mind on one point. Suchao Dese means in a sanctified place. Yeah. Sacred place refers to places of pilgrimage. In India, the yogis, the transcendentalists, or the devotees all leave home and reside in sacred places such as Prayag, Mathura, Brindavan, Rishikesh, Hardwar. and in solitude practice yoga where the sacred rivers like the Yamuna and the Ganges flow. But often this is not possible, especially for Westerners. Yeah. So Suchao Desi means a sacred place, place of pilgrimage. Yeah. But what about those who are not close by here in India? Yeah. Sometimes people are asking like, why all these holy places only in India? It is not like that because Krishna appeared exactly in this land. Yeah. Actually, the whole world was Bharatvarsha. We are belong to the same uh, world, to the same country. Yeah. But why Krishna specifically appeared in these spots, especially in India? Because this land is considered to be pious land. Yeah. There is a description in the Sastra that where mango and coconut cannot grow, that place is considered to be very sinful. Yes. Mango, coconut, and banana. One more. Mango, coconut, and bananas. If these three plants, types of plants, does not grow in one particular land, that means that land is too sinful. Yeah. So I went to Russia. There is no coconut tree in Russia. There is no mango tree. What to speak of banana trees? Yeah. So because during winter it's covered with snow. Mm. And then there's one incident when Srila Prabhupada was walking, in a frozen lake, during winter. So Srila Prabhupada, with his cane, he knocked down the frozen lake, and Prabhupada said, this place is not the place where human can live. Yeah. So where human can live, that means that place will give all types of grains and fruits. Yeah. Where the cows eating nicely the green grass. Yeah. So Srila Prabhupada, of course, mentioned that, of course, for Westerner, sometimes this is not possible. Yeah. But even then, also by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, he could actually bring the spiritual world to their places. Yeah. Build a temple, build community. We have New Brindavan in West Virginia. We have New Mayapur in France. Yeah. And then Gita Nagari, all these places because of Bhavadvida Bhagavata Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibo Tirti Kurvanti Tirthani Swantastena Gadavrita. Wherever a pure devotee walks, that place will become a tirtha, holy place. Yeah. So, of course, seeing this is description like why should be covered by the kusasana should be covered by deer skin or tiger skin. There is a particular reason on that. Yeah. Before I explain, Rati Manjiri Mataji.
Prabhuji, that's the question that I had. That why to cover with deer skin? Like we want to
Yes.
be merciful and compassionate towards every life. Then
Hmm.
deer skin and tiger. So you already said it, Prabhu. Please, I'm
So
waiting for
why? So
it.
what do you think? Other devotees maybe have heard something. You see, like Lord Shiva, he's sitting on the tiger skin. Yes. So why the tapasvis? You know, the great yogis, they're always sitting on this, tiger skin, deer skin. You know, anybody knows? Yes, Arshid Agarwal Prabhu. Agrawal Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandavat Pranam. One interpretation that I heard from one of the lectures is, uh, first of all, it is a dead skin, not you don't have to kill and do it. If it is dead, then you have to use it. So you're
Mhm.
not killing the animal to use it. Secondly, I think it repels the insects and animals while we are doing tapasya. It repels it so that it does not disturb you, bite you, and your sadhana and your dhyan will not get disturbed.
Yes. Thank you so much. That's the answer. Yeah, that's the answer. So the insect and the snakes also will not disturb you. Yeah. Very nice.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Archit Prabhu, and thank you,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna. Yes. Here, Srila Prabhupada's comment on this particular things. So how they say, Pratistapya. Pratistapya. He must be situated in a very sanctified place. Stiram asanam atmanaha. The asanam, the sitting place, should not be changed. Yeah. And how should the sitting place be selected? Naati urchitam. Not too much raised nor too low. And Chaila Jina Kusotaram. Chaila means a cotton sitting place. Then deer skin. Yogis sit on either the skin of a tiger or the skin of a deer. Why? Because they are in a secluded place and this skin have some chemical effect. If you sit on a deer skin, then the reptiles and snakes won't disturb you. Yeah. So this is the reason, because in this kind of meditation, you should not be disturbed. Text number 13 and 14. One should hold one's body, neck, and head erect in a straight line and stare steadily at the tip of the nose. Thus, with an unagitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, completely free from sex life, one should meditate upon me within the heart and make me the ultimate goal of life. Yeah. So one of the quality mentioned here is that devoid of fear, because you have to live alone in a forest. So you have to be free from fear. Yeah. Krishna is the ultimate goal of life, and the Vishnu Murti situated in one's heart is the object of yoga practice. To realize this Vishnu Murti within the heart, one has to observe complete abstinence from sex life. Therefore, one has to leave home and live alone in a secluded place, remaining seated as mentioned above. One cannot enjoy sex life daily at home, or as elsewhere and attend a so-called yoga class and thus become a yogi. Children at the age of 5 are sent to the Gurukul, or the place of the spiritual master, and the master trains the young boys in the strict discipline of becoming brahmacharis. Without such practice, no one can make advancement in yoga. One who, however, follows the rules and regulations of married life, having a sexual relationship only with his wife, and that also under regulation, is also called a brahmachari. Yeah. So all these requirements are mentioned here by the Lord. You have to sit straight. Yeah, your back should be sitting erect, and then you have to see the tip of your nose. Why? Otherwise, you have, if you don't focus your eyes on the tip of your nose, so your eyes have the tendency to look elsewhere. Yeah. But here's the thing with our self, we tend to fall asleep when we do this. Therefore, this kind of yoga practice is not at all suitable for us. Yeah. And then Srila Prabhupada commented that, yes, brahmachari training. So brahmachari training start from Kumaram. Yeah, from the very small age, young age. Kumaramacharit Pragyo, Prahlad Maharaj said. Yeah. Dharmam Bhagavatam Iha Durlabhamanusam Janma Tat Api Adruvam Artadam. So the Krishna consciousness practice will start in a very early age. Yeah, so that will give the samskara or impression. Yes. Srila Prabhupada mentioned also about regulation in sex life, So of course there are different levels of brahmacharya. So the first one is Naistiki brahmacharya. One is not married for whole life, never have sex. And then Grihastha brahmacharya. That means having sex only with one's wife, but that's also should be under some regulation. Yeah. So yes, Archit Prabhu, any questions?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Mm.
Prabhuji, uh, two questions. So first is regarding the Brahmachari's ashram. So I was talking to one of the Prabhujis in ISKCON Delhi, and he
Mm.
was mentioning that in Mayapur there are uh, gurukuls in which young children are getting trained in
Yes.
Krishna consciousness. But as soon as they are leaving the gurukul, they are they are completely into Maya.
Mm.
So, I mean, most of them got into Maya. That is what his comment is. So, I don't know, agree to disagree with that. But if it is happening, then why Prabhuji? Because we always see that their upbringing is the one that decides how our adult life and Grihastha
Mm.
life and going forward will be there. We are seeing that
Yeah.
somebody who's been trained as a brahmachari for say 15, 20 years, still they go out. Why is that so?
Okay, that first. Let me respond to that. Yes, we do have this Bhaktivedanta Academy Gurukul here in Mayapur, but now there is no ashram actually in this Gurukul. This is just for your information. There is no ashram anymore. It's kind of a day school now. Yeah, so they go in the morning and then they come back in the evening. Yeah, there is no ashram. Gurukul means the students stay in the house of the guru. Yeah, like how Krishna and Balaram, they go to the house of Sandipani Muni and stay there and serve Sandipani Muni and his wife. Yeah, stay in the house of the guru. Krishna and Balaram used to go out to beg something for their guru. Yeah, and then the wife of Sandipani Muni would cook and then feed them. So this is the ideal. Of course, this has happened also, but not to all the students. Yeah, some of them. And then it's like, the bird in the cage. Yeah, for 10, 15 years, they are trained in this Gurukul like this. And then as soon as they comes out from the Gurukul, they feel like, wow, now I'm free. But how long they will do like this? Just 1 or 2 years, and then immediately they will be back. Yes, this has happened. That's true. What that devotee said might be true, but this is not completely into Maya. Yeah. What happened to them is that so they start growing hair, because all these 15 years they saved whole life. So just growing hair. Some of them will put on some tattoos, really. Yeah. But is that completely in Maya? But still they are chanting Hare Krishna. They come to the temple regularly. Yeah. So the samskara is there attached with them, the way how they perform the yagya, the chanting of their mantras, daily worship. They may do this like, okay, they just want to have different experience because they are still teenagers. They're still young, probably. Yeah. They're still young. So they want to experience things, but then they will be back. Very soon they will be back and they will become devotees in our community, living a normal life as devotees. So it's like that, it's, I would say, a normal tendency. Uh, like if you are put in the army's training, for example, as soon as you're free, so you want to, to have some freedom. Yes. But I know that many of them also, after being graduated, properly being graduated, yeah. So they remain, even they will not wear dress like how I dress. Still, they walk around everywhere they go, only with the dhoti and chadar. They never wear kurta. Yes, some of them like this. So not all of these boys, completely into Maya, as soon as they go out from the Gurukul. Even if they are in Maya also, let's say like that. But how long? Because they already know so many things. Yeah, they already know so many things. And the fact is that they always come back and become nice devotee. So growing hair maybe looks like Maya, but I mean like It's not that bad, as long as they still chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and they don't break the rules and regulation, the four regulative principles. They don't, you know. They just grow hair and put on tattoo. That's it, as far as my knowledge. And I know some of them like that. Yeah, they grow hair, and then sometimes I make joke with them. Oh, you are growing hair now. I said like this. Said, yeah, I just want to try something different, Prabhu. But still, they are nice devotees. Yeah.
Thank you,
Second
Prabhu.
question.
Yeah. Second question is, you talked about the sex life in Grihastha. So,
Yes.
ideal situation, we know that just to begot a son or a daughter, a child,
Mm,
you should do it. But then
yes.
we are at that stage that we cannot reach that level,
Yeah.
but we are not like completely materialistic.
Mm.
So, how do we define what is the frequency, or how, what is the balance that we should make so that we feel that spiritual life is not disturbed
Mm.
and we are not at that level as well? How do
Yes.
we understand?
Yes, that's true. This is very practical questions, especially most of us here are grihastas. Yeah. As Krishna mentioned in chapter 7, that dharma viruddha bhuteshu kamosmi. So Krishna is the sex life, which is not contradictory to the Vedic injunction. Yeah, dharma viruddha. But then there is rules and regulation mentioned in the Shastra, such as Kama Sutra. Yeah, so we are allowed actually, as Srila Prabhupada mentioned here. I'll show you this. Yeah. Yes, where is that? Yeah, having sexual relationship only with his wife. Okay, only with his wife. Mm. So that's why this vivaha samskara is there, to regulate the human society. Otherwise, one may having this intercourse also with many women, which is looks like in animal society. That's why marriage is there to control. This is first of all. Marriage is meant to control human society, yeah, to regulate. And then even if one become more strict, as you mentioned, that we have only sexual intercourse only to beget the child, yeah. But then if we are not in that level, what to do? So there is injunction in Kama Sutra. It is mentioned that once a month one can have it, yeah. Once a month one can have it. But then there is also another injunction that, but as soon as the wife is pregnant, so one should not having sexual intercourse when the woman is pregnant. Yeah. I think there is a story in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's happened like that. I forgot exactly what was that, who was that, but it's a fact actually, the consciousness. So anyway, uh, all of us, of course, different people having different standard and then level of advancement. The main thing is that uh, we should not be too how I say, too loose. Yeah, too loose in this field especially. Yeah, but at the same time, we are not hypocrite. Yeah, we are not hypocrite. Otherwise, because there is a psychological things that may affect our mental. Like I know quite few people, quite few devotees, they are very strict about this, and then finally they end up with divorce. Yes, really. I know few devotee couples. Yeah, they are very strict. Oh, we have to follow rules and regulation like this, and then we are not that advanced. And then finally, what happened? Uh, they become so stressful, and then it just bursts out, and then finally divorce. Yeah, that's why marriage is there. So we are allowed to have sexual intercourse with one's wife, with one's husband, yeah, within marriage. Mm. And yeah, like some Sastra said, like I mentioned, Kama Sutra, we can have it once a month, but when the wife is pregnant, one should not. Yeah, it's not good actually when the wife is pregnant and then having sex also. And yeah, I mean, like, we know how far we can swim, right? So it's a matter of one's individual practice and commitment also. Yeah. Of course, when we properly engage in the service, we don't even have time to even think about it, even while being in a grihastha ashram, in grihastha life, really. Yeah. But when one is not properly engaged, that's how the mind will, concentrate it only in that one pointed attention. Yeah. So that's all my comment because I'm not that advanced also. But that's really, I have seen this personally, that people are too strict. Sometimes devotees are too strict, and then finally they get divorced. Yeah, I know some devotees having the same problem like that. So that's why marriage is there to fulfill our karma. Because some people said that, oh, I just get married because I need partner. I need somebody to talk to. Why don't talk with friends? Some devotees get married, they don't want to get child. Why to get married if you don't want to get child? Yeah. Just to get partner, you can talk to friends. Yes. So that's it, my comment. Anybody would like to add on this? But that is my own uh, understanding on this. Don't take it absolutely. Maybe there is an absolute statement from Sastra, but according to my knowledge allowed, so that's all I can say on this field. Yeah. Once a month you can have it, and at the same time you should not be too loose. Yeah. Otherwise, having sexual intercourse too much also, it's really not good for health, first of all, and then secondly for our spiritual practice, and then for men, especially for men, the more semen you discharge, actually the capacity of your brain is become weak. Actually, when the semen, there is in this yoga practice, I think in this chapter, it will be described that if we can bring up all our semen as a man, yeah, up to the brain, that actually easy for us to digest the spiritual subject matter. When I study Bhakti Sastri, I tell you one thing. When I studied Bhakti Sastri, one of my Bhakti Sastri classmate, he is from Australia. During this 3.5 months period of our study, he could not memorize even a single sloka. Yeah, he could not memorize even a single sloka. He said that philosophy I can understand, but he could not memorize even a single sloka within 3 months. And then he told me because, oh, he was like drug users, drug addicts, before he became a devotee. And of course, he had like so many girlfriends, probably. Yeah, we don't know what happened, you know. And he said like this, yes, that's the reason why I could not memorize the sloka. His brain tissue is too weak. Yeah. So keeping cement for men, yeah, for men, keeping cement is actually really good for spiritual advancement. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I was before coming to Krishna consciousness, I
Mm.
had this thought process which is borrowed by one of a spiritual leader of this country, not from our community, that he was saying that the world is already so much populated and the resources are limited. Why to get one more child and increase the burden? Rather adopt one child so that the resources will be, managed maturely. How do you think about, and what should be our responses to those theories?
Mother Earth is able to supply our needs, but not our greed. Yeah, there is that saying. So I recently read one article about how actually the whole world resources, yeah, from the whole world resources, yeah, 40% are used for United States of America, only for USA. Yes, that means there is no equal distribution of uh, the production of the earth. Yes. So the greed will cause scarcity. Yeah. Regarding overpopulated, what can I say? It is true that now, of course, it is true, yeah. Uh, the world is overpopulated. Um, to adopt children, if you can adopt, you can do that. But of course, it is something different when you raise your own child, when you raise your own child and when you adopt also. But in specific regarding this theory, I don't have an absolute command, I would say. Yeah. But regarding the scarcity of the world, the scarcity happened because of the greed of some elite of the people in this world. Otherwise, there is no scarcity if the production of the earth is being distributed equally. Yeah. There is one lecture by Srila Prabhupada where he mentioned that this is like 50 years ago when Srila Prabhupada is still present. He said that India is many people said that India is poor country, but that is not true, Srila Prabhupada mentioned. That is not true. India is very rich country because in this land we can produce all types of food stuff. Mm. Why all this European uh, and this colonialization, the British, they come to India because they cannot produce there. So they have to come here to take the sources, resources. So the richest land actually in the world is actually the Asian land. Yeah, the Asian land. This is the fertile land where everything can grow. Everything, especially grains and fruits. Yeah. So there is no scarcity if the leaders would distribute equally to the citizenship. Yeah. You can imagine like only 40% used only for one country. The whole world's production is used only for one country. So that's not at all fair. That's why people are saying that, oh, now Mother Earth cannot supply enough for our needs. And then some of these big so-called elite people, they want to kill the human population, and one of the way is by spreading the coronavirus. Yes. Anyway, I don't want to go deep into this thing, you know Abhiram Prabhu,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
you are the farmer here, you know better than me. Give us some comment.
Prabhuji. I feel Prabhupada has given a statement that after getting marriage, you should beget a child. And these theories which Prabhu has told, because of population we have adopting, that is not a proper theory. I guess from Prabhupada's lecture, Prabhu. So even though we have to have our own progeny, that is what Prabhupada has instructed after getting married. That's what I remember, Prabhuji.
Yes, thank you so much. I mean, like, I think there is nothing wrong if we adopt. Yeah, we can adopt. For example, like there are some orphans, right? So I think there is nothing wrong with that, adopting some child to take care and raise the child in Krishna consciousness. Nothing wrong with that. Yes. Rasa Sindhu Giridhari Prabhu.
Just want to add a comment on that. See,
Hmm.
overpopulation is actually more to do with the density of population in certain areas.
Hmm.
Recently, I was watching a documentary. It says in Australia, there are only 3 people living per square kilometer. A lot of area probably is not inhabitable, but the economic development is done in such a manner. The
Hmm.
density of population is usually in certain pockets only.
Hmm.
You see, many countries in Europe have population which is much smaller than even a small locality in India.
Hmm.
Forget a city or a state. And certain countries have populations are much smaller than even a large city in India. So it's about the density, how it is created, and again, it is economic decision making, it is policy decision making, the political gains that the people having. Give an example of the COVID pandemic being spread, and every 100 years, why does a pandemic come in place? It's all economic activities of certain corporations, which kind of lead us to that. But as I agree with what you said, adoption is right. If there are orphans, so many orphans, there are
Hmm.
war widows, war orphans that come up that can be adopted, etc. But the progeny, the samskaras that one can give to the community, to the society, through their own children, is at a very different level than what happens to the adopted.
Yeah. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay. Let us just drop down this topic at the moment up to this point. Hmm. Okay. Where are we? Yes. Now text 15. Thus, practicing constant control of the body, mind, and activities. The mystic transcendentalist, his mind regulated, attains to the kingdom of God or the abode of Krishna by cessation of material existence. Yeah. The ultimate goal in practicing yoga is now clearly explained. Yoga practice is not meant for attaining any kinds of material facility. It is to enable the cessation of all material existence. One who seeks an improvement in health or aspires after material perfection is no yogi according to Bhagavad Gita. Yes. So one example that came across to my mind is Dhritarashtra. Yeah. In the chapter 13 of the first canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, it is described how Dhritarashtra quit his house. Yeah. And then he was performing this process. So within 5 days, so he get perfection in his life. And using his mystic power, he create fires out of his body. And then he burned himself. Yeah, of course, Gandhari Mata also entered the house. And then it is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam that he attained the perfection in his life. Yeah. There is no possibility of one's becoming a yogi, O Arjuna, if one eats too much or eats too little, sleep too much or does not sleep enough. Regulation of diet and sleep is recommended herein for the yogis. Too much eating means eating more than is required to keep the body and soul together. There is no need for men to eat animals because there is an ample supply of grains, vegetables, fruits, and milk. Nor can one who artificially abstains from eating, manufacturing his own personal process of fasting, practice yoga. The Krishna conscious person observes fasting as it is recommended in the scriptures. He does not fast or eat more than is required, and he is thus competent to perform yoga practice. One who eats more than required will dream very much while sleeping, and he must consequently sleep more than is required. One should not sleep more than 6 hours daily. One who sleeps more than 6 hours of 24 is certainly influenced by the mode of ignorance. Yeah. Sometimes there is a debate amongst the devotees, how many hours we have to sleep a day. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada, of course, he mentioned here 6 hours. But I remember in one of the Back to Godhead magazine that I read long time ago, really in 2013. Yeah, there is an article where Srila Prabhupada mentioned if one sleep more than 7 hours per day, that means he's swallowed by the python. So here Srila Prabhupada mentioned 6 hours. Yeah, of course, this is a statement, the standard for a normal, healthy person. Yeah. But let's say, for example, like a baby, sometimes baby needs like even 20 hours to sleep in a day. Yeah. And then those who are sick, they need more hours to take rest, to sleep. Yeah. So the 6 hours is actually the statement for a normal, healthy person. Yeah. So even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, he used to take a nap after his lunch. Yeah. When I was in Brahmachari ashram, like we are not at all allowed to take nap. Yeah. The temple president that, oh, you are in Maya if you are taking nap. Yeah. So anyway, sometimes nowadays I take granted, to take an hour nap during the day, So 5 hours at night and 1 hour during the day. Sometimes I do that also. Yeah. So, but of course, this is uh, not an absolute statement meant for everybody. If you are sick and then you force yourself to follow this standard, then you will get even more sick. Yeah. So this is clearly for a normal, healthy person. Yeah. So 6 hours. Yeah. Not too much sleeping, not too less sleep. Mm. Too less sleep also, you will get sick. Then you cannot perform your service. Yeah. Eating too much, as Srila Prabhupada mentioned here, especially at night. If you can avoid eating too much at night, really, that's really good practice. Yeah. Night, okay, let's take something light and drink milk. That would be enough. Yeah. Try to avoid rice at night, especially. Otherwise, really difficult for you to wake up for Mangala Arati. Yeah, because the fire of digestion and all the energy just finish to digest whatever you eat at night before you sleep. And then you will feel like so lazy to wake up in the morning. Yeah. So to become yogi, you have to be regulated. Yeah. Yes, this is the regulation. Anybody can read this verse? This is famous verse from the Bhagavad Gita.
युक्ताहारविहारस्य युक्तचेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः. He who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation, and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. Extravagance in the matter of eating, sleeping, defending, and mating, which are demands of the body, can block advancement in the practice of yoga. As far as eating is concerned, it can be regulated only when one is practiced to take and accept prasadam, sanctified food. As far as sleeping is concerned, a Krishna conscious person is always alert in the discharge of his duties in Krishna consciousness, and therefore any unnecessary time spent sleeping is considered a great loss. As far as work is concerned, a Krishna conscious person does not do anything which is not connected with Krishna's interest, and thus his work is always regulated and is untainted by sense gratification.
Yes. Thank you so much, Ramesh Prabhu. Yes. So all this, yeah. Ahar, vihar, karmasu. And then Krishna mentioned here recreation. So what about recreation? What type of recreation that we are allowed to have? Yeah. What kind of recreation we are allowed to have? Because eating, okay, we have to eat prasadam. That's how we control. That's how we regulate. Sleep, so we should not use unnecessary time just to sleep, And then work, karmasu, we have to work in line with the principles of Dharma. That means we have to avoid as much as possible the Ugra karma types of work. And what about recreation? Yes, Rasa Sindhu Giridhari Prabhu.
So recreation is, Prabhu, you engage in music by doing kirtan, sankirtan. You do conversations by talking about Krishna Katha. Recently, I was listening from some other Sampradaya's lecture. It says when you are with others, talk about Krishna, and when you are alone, talk to Krishna. So, different ways, and that's how when you're always engaged in the talks and activities relating to the Lord, talking of his pastimes, kirtan, sankirtan, reading, talking his katha. So that is the recreation of having a social engagement with other people. That's my.
Yes, nice. Yeah, that's it. So every day we have kirtan. That is our recreation. There is one political leader in Indonesia. So he's going for, to become the mayor of the town, And then we have conversation with him, and then we ask like, okay, if you become mayor, and then what next you want to be? Oh, I want to become the governor. Okay, if that fulfilled, you become the governor. What next you want to be? I want to be president. Okay, if one day you become president, then what next you want to be? I want to enjoy my life, go to the karaoke place, singing and dancing. Yeah. And we tell him, we can sing and dance here every day. So that is recreation. The idea of recreation is that to free the mind from stress. Yeah. Why people need recreation? Because they are in stress. Why you need one day off from your work, right? Or maybe 2 days, Saturday, Sunday. If you're lucky, you get 2 days off. If not so lucky, then maybe only Sunday. Because you are stressed from your work. You need some break. Yeah, and take some holiday. This is called recreation. But in Krishna consciousness, there is no day off, actually. There is no day off. Yeah, because it is Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. Yeah, there is no day off in Krishna consciousness. We do the same thing every day. We sit 2 hours in our japa. Yeah, we attend the temple program. Yeah, if we stay close to the temple. Yeah, there is no day off in Krishna consciousness. It's just, Anandam Buddhi Vardhana, full of bliss. Yes, that is the process. Yeah. So recreation in Krishna consciousness is all the time. Whatever you do, it's all almost like recreation. Maybe if you hold the position of a GBC leaders, then you will get some stress here and there, Then you have some meeting here and there. That's your stress. But otherwise, if you become a simple devotee, sincere devotee, there is no stress. Yeah. I'm not saying to become leader is bad things, it's a great work. Yeah, it's a great responsibility. But talking about our practice, talking about recreation, we have recreation every day. Yeah. Therefore, we don't need day off from Krishna consciousness, actually. So it should be regulated. Yeah. Yukta. The word yukta means regulation. Yeah. Yes. This is called yukta. We should eat simply for keeping healthy condition. We shall sleep simply for keeping healthy condition. But if you can reduce, that's nice. But not at the risk of becoming sick. See? Because in the beginning, because we are accustomed to eat voraciously. So don't try to eat less artificially. You eat, but try to minimize it. Therefore, there are prescription of fasting, at least 2 compulsory fastings in a month. And there are other fasting days. The more you can reduce your sleep and eating, you keep good health, especially for spiritual purpose, but not artificially, not artificially. But when you advance naturally, you will not feel. Yes. So Srila Prabhupada giving us this statement here, yeah. Not artificially, but it should be genuine, and we have to try from our side also to reduce, to reduce little by little. Yeah. If we have like the tendency to sleep 8 hours per day, well, try to reduce maybe 7.5, yeah, in the first month, and reduce it slowly, but not on the risk of becoming sick. That's the principle. Yeah, because this process is a gradual process. Yeah, there is one Srila Prabhupada's disciple here in Mayapur. So he told me how he got chastised by Srila Prabhupada. Because one time when he was a Sankirtan leader in Canada, he's from Canada. So he used to yell to all the brahmacharis there, and he give the, what do you call this? The standard, the minimum standard that they have to distribute books a day is 100 books, you know. And then some of the brahmacharis complaining to Srila Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada called him and chastised him. And the only word that he could still remember up to this day is that this is a gradual process. Yeah, this is a gradual process. So yukta, being regulated. Like how we see also in Srila Prabhupada's life, in the early days, Srila Prabhupada used to feed his disciples. He used to cook himself and then feed his disciples so much. But then after 2 years, some devotees becoming sannyas, they take second initiation, and Srila Prabhupada told them to reduce, their eating. I remember Brahmananda Prabhu was telling when they were in Mayapur, in the early days, Srila Prabhupada used to cook puri. Srila Prabhupada used to cook puri and sabji, and Prabhupada would feed them like anything, and then gradually Srila Prabhupada told them to reduce their eating. And then one day, one devotee went to Nawadvip and they got jaggery. They got jaggery, and then they cook puri and they eat along with jaggery. This is for the devotees, like that's a big feast, because at that time Mayapur, still in the early development, very austere. So when they eat puri with jaggery, for them this is like really big feast. And then Prabhupada came to know about this, and then Prabhupada said, for those who are sannyasis, please never eat like this next time. Yeah, never eat, because it's like so much enjoyment, it's really tasty, like hot fresh puri with melted jaggery. It's really tasty, and Prabhupada said you have to reduce this. Mm. Okay, text 18. When the yogi, by practice of yoga, disciplines his mental activities and becomes situated in transcendence, devoid of all material desires, he is said to be well established in yoga. Yukta means well situated in yoga. Yeah. But yukta means also regulated. Yeah. That means when a person being regulated, he can control his mind. That means he is a yogi. Yeah. Well situated in yoga. Therefore, for people in general, especially those who are not in the renounced order of life, transcendental engagement of the senses and the mind as described above is the perfect process for transcendental achievement, which is called yukta in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Text 19. This is an analogy. Yeah. Yatha dipo nivatastu nengati sopama smrita yogino yatachi tasya yunjato yogamatmanaha. As a lamp in a windless place does not waver, so the transcendentalist whose mind is controlled remains always steady in his meditation on the transcendent self. Yeah. A truly Krishna conscious person, always absorbed in transcendence, in constant undisturbed meditation on his worshipable Lord, is as steady as a lamp in the windless place. Yeah. So Srila Haridas Thakur is an example. Prahlad Maharaj, yeah, and Ambarish Maharaj, all these great devotees, yeah, they are like the lamp, like Deepa, yeah, in a windless place, yeah, not waving at all, meaning that one is not being agitated, yeah. In the chapter 2, toward the end of chapter 2 of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explained how is that verse going? Kama kamala bante. The example, just like the thousands of streams of the rivers coming into the ocean. So the ocean position does not disturb. Yeah. So sometimes we still have some desire, but how the body react on that, the body does not pay attention to that material desire. Yeah. Now this sloka is breaking my head. I have to recite this, otherwise I cannot sleep tonight. Let me just find it out. Chapter 2, text number 70, I believe. Yes, here it is. Apuryamanam achala pratistam samudramapa pravisanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravisanti sarve sasantim apnoti na kamakami. Yeah, that's the verse. Yeah, 2.70. This is very beautiful sloka. Yeah. Most of the time, here is the thing, if you memorize, if you know some sloka, you know it, but sometimes you forget it. But if you know the first word of the sloka, you will just remember the whole thing. Yeah. So just like that, like the ocean being undisturbed, although so many rivers flowing into the ocean. So now we become devotee does not mean that we don't have material desire anymore. We may still have a lot of material desire, but we don't pay attention to that. 20 to 23. In the stage of perfection called trance or samadhi, one's mind is completely restrained from material mental activities by practice of yoga. This perfection is characterized by one's ability to see the self by the pure mind and to relish and rejoice in the self. In that joyous state, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness, realized through transcendental senses, established thus, one never departs from the truth. And upon gaining this, he thinks there is no greater gain. Being situated in such position, one is never shaken, even in the midst of the greatest difficulty. This indeed is actual freedom from all miseries arising from material contact. By practice of yoga, one becomes gradually detached from material concepts. This is the primary characteristic of the yoga principles. Today's so-called yoga practice, which involves various sense pleasures, is contradictory. A yogi indulging in sex and intoxication is a mockery. Even those yogis who are attracted by the siddhis, perfection, in the process of yoga are not perfectly situated. If yogis are attracted by the byproducts of yoga, then they cannot attain the stage of perfection, as it is stated in this verse. Yeah. So what is the byproduct that Srila Prabhupada mentioned here? Byproduct means, yes, Anuradha Mataji.
So if the yogis are getting those mystic powers and stuff, so they are attracted to the mystic power rather than on Krishna. So I think that is the byproduct they mentioned.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you. So byproduct means like the bonus. Yes, sometimes you go to store, there is promotion mentioning buy one, get one for free. So in Krishna consciousness, while practicing Krishna consciousness, what are the three obvious byproducts that offered by Maya to us? What are those? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us in the 4th verse of the 6th Shastakam. Yes, Anuradha Mataji.
Nadhanam, najanam, nasundarim.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Dhanam, Janam, Sundarim. Yeah. These are the three byproducts that Maya offered to us, to those who are practicing devotional service. Yes. Therefore, these three are mentioned by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He wants to, get away from all this. Yes, because as soon as you become devotee, you fix in your practice, you getting some spiritual advancement, and then some people would give you donation. This is called dana. And then some people will appreciate your lectures, will appreciate what you do, and then they start becoming your follower, jana. And then of course, the opposite sex also will get attracted to you. So these are natural offer given by Maya. Yes, so if we become attracted to that byproduct, then we will miss our main goal, which is Krishna, pure devotional service. Yes. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada mentioned here, yeah, if yogis are attracted by the byproducts of yoga, then they cannot attain the stage of perfection. Yeah. Therefore, we have to be very careful. Yes, sometimes we are, what to say, we are being allured, being swayed, by being overwhelmed, by all these things, and then we start thinking, oh, look, how many followers do I have, you know? Yes. 24. One should engage oneself in the practice of yoga with determination and faith and not be deviated from the path. One should abandon, without exception, all material desires born of mental speculation and thus control all the senses on all sides by the mind. The yoga practitioner should be determined and should patiently prosecute the practice without deviation. One should be sure of success at the end and pursue this course with great perseverance, not becoming discouraged if there is any delay in the attainment of success. Yes. In this regard, Srila Prabhupada gave one example. Yeah, how one should be determined, just like a married couple, So they have to wait in order to beget a child. Yeah, they have to wait. So it is not that today you get married, tomorrow you get a child. So Srila Prabhupada mentioned in this regard that one should be very patient and being determined. Another example that Srila Prabhupada gave is just like this small sparrow bird, when the ocean, yeah, take away her eggs. Yeah, she start screaming at the ocean, asking the ocean to give her back her eggs. And then all the people who are watching her, they are laughing. But this little bird, start taking the drops of water from the ocean using her small beak, try to dry the ocean. And then seeing the determination of this small bird, Garuda came. Yes, and Garuda screamed at the ocean. And then the ocean become terrified and give back her. So determination in our practice in Krishna consciousness, like how much we determine. And then definitely Krishna will help us. There is no doubt. Yes. Yes. Someone would like to read. This is the continuation of Srila Prabhupada's purport. Please read. Any devotee.
Prabhu,
Sparrow.
sorry,
Okay. Go ahead, Rati Manjari Mataji.
Okay, Prabhu. A sparrow laid her eggs on the shore of the ocean, but the big ocean carried away the eggs on its waves. The sparrow became very upset and asked the ocean to return her eggs. The ocean did not even consider her appeal. So the sparrow decided to dry up the ocean. She began to pick out the water in her small beak, and everyone laughed at her for her impossible determination. The news of her activity spread, and at last Garuda, the gigantic carrier of Lord Vishnu, heard it. He became compassionate towards his small sister bird, and so he came to see the sparrow. Garuda was very pleased by the determination of the small sparrow, and he promised to help. Thus, Garuda at once asked the ocean to return her eggs, lest he himself take up the work of the sparrow. The ocean was frightened at this and returned the eggs. Thus, the sparrow became happy by the grace. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Would you like to share some of your experiences? Maybe some of you have some experience, regarding your determination. And then in the beginning, it looks like frustrated. And then suddenly some help comes, Krishna helped you through different ways and it manifests. Anybody would like to share? Anything, small or big. It's your turn to speak. Try to look back in some period, some incident in your life. Because we're not simply talking about philosophy here, Pratyaksava gamam dharmyam. This process is pratyaksha. We experience it. It's not just dry stuff that we are all try to become exaggerate about it, but it's real life experience. Anyone?
One small instance, Prabhuji. I
Yeah,
think
go
this is
ahead.
when recently itself,
Mm.
I mean, I was in total Maya, I should say. Or it could just have been a health issue. And I mentioned this to Navdeepa Mataji that I was oversleeping. I was not able to keep myself awake, not do my work. So then Mataji also encouraged me to, look into it. Maybe it's not a psychological thing. It could be, there are many people who have post-COVID some kind of symptoms. So she asked me to get a check on that. So I think with Krishna's mercy or grace, it was something related to that. And I could get it checked. So mostly about the health issues, I could say I could see a lot of difference after that. Yeah, that's one small thing I wanted to mention.
Nice. Thank you so much. Maybe one more devotee would like to hear from the audience. Well, you have, kind of determination to perform some service. And Krishna comes to the rescue.
So, Prabhuji, it's not about explanation as such, but it's more about the help that I feel that I receive from Krishna. It,
Mm.
I I I lived in Estonia 3 years ago, and COVID brought me back to India. And I was coming back to India the day when I was to fly out. I had 58 kgs of bags with me. And although I had already shipped some of the stuff, and I've given away so much of stuff to my friends and the devotees at ISKCON in Estonia. But still, I was left with 58 kgs, and I was on verge of tears because what I did was I closed my account in Estonia and transferred all money to India, and I did not have any international credit debit card or credit card. So I was just had 500 euros in my wallet, and I was at standing in front of the counter, and she was the lady who told me that, ma'am, you'll have to pay for extra baggage that you're taking to India, Lufthansa Airlines, which always kind of, looted me with money every time for excess baggage. And I was in my heart, I was just doing the japa, Hare Krishna, that way. And my friend who had come to actually see me off at the airport, she stood by the window waiting that when I signal to her, she will have to transfer some money from her Estonian account to pay for my excess baggage. And I was like really on the verge of tears. And then it was 4 o'clock in the morning. And Estonia, Tallinn is a very small airport. So the lady asked me, directed me to another window where I could pay. And I said, look, I have only 500 euros. So she said, ma'am, I'd actually go there and see. I went to the window, it was still closed. There was no one. I came back and I said, the window is closed. So she spoke to her colleague in Estonian. And then she turned around and she said, oh, you're going back to India as your home country. So I said, yes. So he said, that's a gift from Lufthansa to you. So you can go without paying anything. So I traveled from Tallinn to Munich, and from Munich to New Delhi without paying a single penny with my 58. And I was just crying. Tears were rolling down my cheek, and my friend was calling me on WhatsApp saying, your Krishna has saved you. I can't believe that Lufthansa can be so flexible. So this happened to me, and I can never forget that experience because it was surely because logically I cannot explain it. It's only Krishna who heard the prayers and the constant japa that was going on. And I was crying in the flight also. How did I board this flight? So it was one of these incidents, and there are many more like that. But I'll let other devotees also speak. So thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Rasa Sindhu Giridhari Prabhu, please.
Yes, Prabhu, this instance is from my desire to get initiated from Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. I actually come with Ritvik background. I have been a full-timer in the Ritvik temple for a few years. And when I realized my folly and understood the gap, what wrong I was doing, I got out of the temple environment from the Ritvik temple. For a few years, I got totally disassociated with Krishna consciousness completely. And then slowly I started connecting, following the various initiating Maharaj at ISKCON Global, if I can call it now. And then slowly the desire of initiation came up. And after 3 years of follow up, and somehow slowly my date of initiation got fixed up. And on the date of initiation, I was to travel from Delhi to Bangalore for the initiation. And my flight got delayed by about 3 hours. And somewhere during this period when I was planning my initiation, there was also a little desire that I should get initiated in Mayapur. And when the date of initiation happened in Bangalore and the flight got delayed, I reached Bangalore. The initiation ceremony was over, it was completed. So Guru Maharaj's servants, they said, no, sorry, you have missed it. We'll look at the next opportunity when you get. And it so happened mercifully within about 10 or 15 days from there, I actually got a message from Guru Maharaj's team that the next round of initiations are happening in Mayapur on Radha Ashtami. And then I spoke to our temple president and immediately spoke to the team in Mayapur and arranged that special initiation for me. And I was the only one from the Bangalore that day in Mayapur who got initiated on Guru Maharaj's sannyasa initiation event. So it was a very, very special day that it was almost about after 15 years in Krishna consciousness, I actually got initiated. So it was a long wait, persevered wait, and what desire came into my heart, both Guru Maharaj and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fulfilled. And the initiation happened in Mayapur on the special Radha Ashtami occasion and Guru Maharaj's special day.
Very nice, brother. Very nice. Thank you so much. Yes. Nice. Jai. Yes. Nice. You see, when we hear some real experience, real life experience from other devotees, that's how our conviction getting stronger while studying the Sastra, while reading Srila Prabhupada's purport. It's not just, speculation or just philosophy, dry stuff, but it's true. It's happening like that. Now I tell you about myself. In 2014, I was in Cambodia. So we decided, okay, let's do the first Ratha Yatra in Cambodia. How many of us, myself, my wife, and two other brahmacharis. There are four devotees. We have four devotees. And some friends, of course, some friends. And maybe like 2, 3 friends. And then my friend who was brahmachari, he is very enthusiastic. He came up with so many brilliant idea, but still he doesn't know how to put it into application. But what happened at that time, there is one Cambodian festival, Cambodian festival. So we want to do the Rath Yatra exactly on that day because people are, like in the festive mood. They would come out to the street, and participate, So my friend, without consulting with me, so he print out invitation. He print out the invitation and distribute to so many people, that we will be having this chariot festival on this day, a very special day. And then finally he told me, 2 weeks before the date, he told me. So I already informed so many people. It will be grand festival. I said, okay, it will be grand festival. What do we have now? Do we have money? No. Do we have manpower? No. Do we have Jagannath deities? Not at all. Then what to do? And then on top of that, we have to get the permission from the police. Okay. I asked him, you deal with the police, get permission. And finally, we pay around $150. $150 for us is so much money because we are nobody. Okay. And then we paid $150. We got the permission. Now what to do? What about the deities? We don't have deities. And then he went to the farm. Look, Prabhu, we have this big log of wood. I think we can figure out to make the deities. I said, like, you break my head first, then we will make the deities. And at that time I was praying like, Krishna, what to do? I told him, Prabhu, let's cancel this. Next year we will do. He said, no, 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 no. We already paid the police. We already invite so many people. I said, Prabhu, not possible. Now we have only 9 days from now. We don't have anything. And what about the prasadam? And then finally, we went to carpenter. Somehow we just told the carpenter, okay, you make this log of wood, you cut into 3, and you make this figure. And the carpenter said, what you will do? You don't ask. You just make it like this. And he said, okay. I asked, how many days it will take you? He said, oh, minimum 1 week. I said, no, I need only tomorrow. I need only tomorrow, otherwise cancel. He said, okay, okay, okay. So finally, he made it. And then now we paint the deities. My wife, luckily, she's an artist, you know. So I also like, I try to figure out, make like, okay, first put the white layer on all this, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, and then make the eyes. And then what to do now? We don't have clothes. Okay, just take some cloth, go to the, what do you call this cloth maker? And then make the skirt. And then my wife made the turban, and then within 4 days, the deities are ready. Okay, the deities are ready, the clothes are ready, turbans are ready, and then we perform the avahana. We invite the Lord to come, and then we do arati, this and that. Now the next one, chariot. We don't have chariot. What it gonna be? Okay, one time I went to Bangkok. I went to Bangkok a few times. In one Rath Yatra, we use a car. We use a car, we decorate the car, and then we pull the car. That's still okay, But then here we don't have anything. And then finally we went to some farmers. We borrowed 2 bullock carts. We tie them together, we join them together, So finally we have now 4-wheelers. We tie them with the rope, and somehow we cover, and then we decorate with flowers, and we put like big umbrella, so it looks like dome. Okay, now we get the chariot. And then one day before the festival start, what to do now? Who will feed all these people? And these people are so enthusiastic. And then I don't know what to do, And then I have an Indian friend contact, I call him, Prabhu, tomorrow we will have Jagannath Ratha Yatra. Oh, he said, oh, Jai Jagannath. I said, no, 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 no. First, listen. Don't Jai Jagannath first. Listen. We need your help. We need your help. Okay. You take all your team. The prasadam side will be your responsible. He said, okay, Prabhu, no problem. And I got so much relief. And then somehow he called all his Indian friends. And there are 25 Indian people came. Yes, 25. And then like they cook all these puri, sabji, sweet rice, and they make pulao. And then there are thousands of people, who pulled up the chariot, and then who have the kirtan, and then who participated in prasadam. And then 4 of us at the end, we just sit together and we cry in tears. We don't have money, we don't have manpower, no deities, no chariot, nothing, And at that time, I was like crying, I was crying, cry in the sense of I feel like my heart was really touched. Miracle happened, 2014, the first Cambodia Ratha Yatra happened, So it was like a big experiment in my life that I will never forget this, Krishna's mercy. By the end of the day, of course, we don't get anything other than happiness to see all these people. Somehow they get prasadam. Somehow they get prasadam. I was so happy, they get Jagannath prasadam. Yes. So I don't know. I was thinking like this, okay, what's the point? They eat prasadam now and then later they will eat meat again. But that's not the thought that came up to my mind. They get Jagannath prasadam, whether in this lifetime or in the next lifetime, they will become devotee. Yeah. So that was 2 cents from my side. Yes, Bupalaka Prabhu. Our time is finished. Please, you will be the closer. Prabhu, your voice is breaking. I could not hear it properly. Try to. I think some problem with your
Microphone has a problem. We can't hear.
Yes.
Not yet, Prabhu.
Hare Bol.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me now, Prabhuji?
Yes. Now, yes.
Okay.
Please.
Thank you. my time is that in 2020, my instruction for me was to somehow make Janmashtami possible. So at the beginning, I had a place next to Hanuman temple. There is open land. So next point was I need a shamiana and it had to be done, and then everything was going to be just 4 days before Janmashtami. This was, and 5 days before my son got admitted in the hospital. My wife and my son and myself are in the hospital. We don't know what to do. I desired that Janmashtami should happen because it was instruction from my Siksha Guru. So I only desired it should happen. That's all. Then somehow from the hospital, I called up the Shamiana guy and told just 1 day before Janmashtami, you make the Shamiana ready. Okay, done. Shamiana done. Sound system. On the last day only it was there. Shamiana done. Now we're from DTs. I don't know anybody. Luckily, we are coming to a new place next to the temple. There we found one devotee, and they happen to be Krishna devotees, Krishna conscious devotees. Both are initiated, and suddenly they told they will come to our rescue. And both Matajis and Prabhujis they came. I didn't know where to put the table, where to arrange, nothing. Somehow I got one table from the Shamiana guy, put it in the middle. Then we need the steps, 3 steps, how to do, what to do. Then that Prabhuji came with the idea, don't worry, my house altar is there. We will shift the whole altar to the venue, like that. The whole 3 steps was shifted. The Jagannath Baldev Subhadramaya was placed, and my mentor also arranged for Radha Madhav deities. Radha Madhav deities, but devotee used to pray in her house. He told you go and approach her. She will give you the details. So just 1 day before, my son still in hospital only. I came home the day of Janmashtami before. I arranged everything. Then I happened to get the Radha Madhav deities from the devotees place. Morning we got the deities. Just within 1 hour we arranged Jagannath Baldev Subhadramaya, and all the flower decoration, everything the kids did. All the kids did. My Mataji's, Prabhuji's kids did. They told me to get something material. I got it and gave it. That's all. Somehow it became very, very beautiful, attractive. And that day around 200 and 250 we came for taking darshan of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadramaya and Radha Madhav deities. So I was really thinking, how did this happen? It is only because of the little desire that Krishna gave me so much blessings. So this was the experience I had, Prabhuji. I want to share. Hare Krishna. So when
Thank
you
you so
desire
much.
from the deep of your heart, Krishna will manifest in your heart or whatever it is. It definitely happens, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
right. That's a nice, yeah, a nice one. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for sharing.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Prabhuji. Are you able to
So
hear me, Prabhuji?
yes, very
Yes.
clear. Yeah.
I'm not able to hear.
All right. So our time is up. We will meet again in Sunday morning. And then I think my prediction is that one more or maximum two more session we will finish the first unit. Okay. Thank you so much, Srila Prabhu.